Let's go!
Walk into your trap, take over your trap.
Could Kirk Cousins potentially win the NFL MVP this season? I'll give you an answer at the end as we do a pretty elaborate Kirk breakdown. And I'm going to call out Raheem Morris pretty hard here in just a second. So we move here to this 4th and 3, and I actually really like this defensive call right here from Tampa Bay. They are sitting heavy on the sticks, right? Because if you stop them short where you're getting the football, right? I hate it on 4th and 3 when teams defensively play conservative and they are forcing Kirk Cousins to make a big play. You'll see a safety fly in here on this in-breaker to Drake London. Look, this DB has inside leverage and you have a safety running in right here for the slant. So take a look at what Kirk does. You can see he's trying to work Drake London here. He says, no, sir, I'm not going there. So he has the processing power to work all the way to the backside, knowing if everybody is at the sticks, something deep should be open. And what does he do? Well, in a dirty-ish pocket, this honestly is really good protection, all things considered. He just floats the ball up here to Kyle Pitts while he got hit in the face. And take a look at this catch from Kyle Pitts. Bang! This angle shows you that this DB actually did a good job being very aggressive with Pitts. Actually hits him in the face. Kirk also got hit in the face. Hit him in the face again. And, man, Pitts had to really fight through this. And honestly, that's more great quarterbacking to, get off of that route to London to eventually float this bad boy up to Pitts, right? Really, really, really good stuff. And it is a tutty. All right. I hate seeing the Falcons succeed. I really do. As my Saints crumble. I don't like any of you. But I'll do it because you guys are giving me the views. Kirk in this nice pocket obviously works to Darnell Mooney, who has really established himself this year as one of the better number 2 receivers in the league, right? Look at not only catching this football, but making a guy miss, showing a little wiggle, holding it down in the Uno jersey, baby. I hate it when people wear number 1 and they aren't Uno playmakers. And Mooney is just doing the dang thing. You love to see it, okay? So I'm about to give you the biggest I told you so in the history of this channel, okay? And a few weeks ago, you remember at the end of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, Hodge, Cordero Hodge, who scored the game-winning touchdown versus the Buccaneers, I called him out for dropping the football too early, okay? I hate it when it's not coached to the players that you should never drop the ball early and you should always run full speed through the end zone, okay? So Kirk throws an absolute laser on an in-breaker over the middle. Okay, look at the anticipation he's throwing with, all right? He's ripping this thing before Kyle Pitts is even in this window, all right? That is really, really, really good stuff. Bang. Because the ball is so perfectly thrown, Kyle did not have to stop, and we know he's got this juice in his game. So the throw is really what made this play, but Pitts shows you some really good run after the catch ability. But first off, I have no idea why he would decide to start carrying the football like this. Hold it high and tight like every other player in the league. And then why would you just start lollygagging right here? This is bad coaching from Raheem Morris. If I would have seen the Cordero Hodge play, I would have told every single player in the meeting rooms, you've got to run through full speed, football in hand, and I have not the slightest clue why the nonchalant, and you can go look at the Carolina Panthers film study where Kyle Pitts just gave up on a route. Why is he like this? I have never understood why this guy does what he does, okay? This makes no sense. This is one of the laziest, dumbest things I think I've ever seen a ball carrier do. And this ball was stripped. But guess what the NFL decides to do? They reward him for nonchalance and laziness and just outright terrible ball security. Then, what's even crazier here is once the ball is on the ground and it's stripped, he doesn't even look to go pick up the fumble, right? Man, oh man, oh man. I'll be honest. I was so much skeptical of the Kirk Cousins experiment. I really was. But I'm glad I bought in fantasy on Drake London and Kirk Cousins, right? I was like, Kirk has just put up too many big seasons, and Drake London is just so good of a talent that at some point London is going to have his breakout year, and lucky enough, it is happening for Falcons fans. Man, the Falcons have done a really good job putting on a clinic on outside zone. First off, the timing of this is really well done. So you get a little bit of a lead blocker with this tight end, coming across, split zoning, whatever you want to call it. And, man, the blocking on this is really good. Kalijah Cansey almost crossed his face and makes his play, but this is a good job sealing 95 and this backer to the inside, Levante David, who might be in Canton at the end of his career. That's just really good run scheme. And then we get to this touchdown. Man, this is really good stuff. You get trips bunched to the right, and once again, versus Carolina, they threw a lot to this side of the field. But watch Kirk. He works to the single receiver side, all right? Get a little bit of a pre-snap motion here. And, man, this is really, really, really impressive stuff. Kirk goes back to pass, and he starts off looking right, and then works back to the left to Darnell Mooney and throws an absolute rocket to Mooney right in this seam. Look at that. Bang. Can't really play quarterback any better than that, folks. So, Falcons fans, let me know your overall thoughts on Bijan up to this point in his career. Has he lived up to your expectations? Obviously, up to this point, Jahmyr Gibbs has been the better back of the two that were selected in the first round. But this is the kind of things that you love to see from Bijan, right? He has to jump up to catch this ball, or did he have to jump? No, he didn't have to jump, so he loses his footing, but he's able to regather it and run around this backer. And once again, this isn't Levante David he ran around, but still, you love to see it. All right, we got to show some love to Darnell Mooney, but more importantly, Kirk freaking Cousins. I saw QB School tweet out this clip. I mean, this is such ridiculous quarterback play, okay? So the first thing is Darnell Mooney on this route does a really good job getting outside the shoulder of this DB who has safety help over the middle. So in the spot, as a DB, I'm not sure if I want Mooney to the outside of me. But point being, this is unreal stuff, right? It's hard to get the football to the sideline in a 2-minute drill. I want you to see when Kirk's throwing this. Look at this, okay? And once again, I don't think it's just the absolute most anticipation throw I've ever seen, because Mooney did get leverage to the outside here. But really, really watch when Kirk is ripping this, all right? It's now. He is deciding to throw this ball now, and this ball needs to be over here. So it's not just the anticipation to throw this football, it's also the pace, right? You've got to throw not only an accurate football, but with some decent velocity as well. And God bless America. God bless America. That's just excellent stuff. It really is. We get to this 3rd and Alpharetta here. And remember earlier, they brought, these nickel blitzes from the second level. Well, this is smart to run the screen in the direction of it. And look at all these bodies that they have. And, well, guess who misses a block? Kyle Pitts, okay? I'm telling you, man, I would hate to have him as my teammate. He does not play hard. I'm telling you, he just does not play, like a George Kittle, if you will. And look at this, all right? Guy flies in. The only block that needs to really be completed for this to work is right here, okay? And it is a difficult block because he is looking forward and the safety is flying in right here. But if you just dive and actually put your body on the line for the team for once in your career, and just get in the way of this DB, this is a big gainer going in this direction. But Winfield's able to knife in and basically make this play and allow the DT to come back into it. Just take a look at this. Watch this patty cake. Man, dude, this would piss me off, right? If you get a somewhat clean block, McLeod is probably feeling this out to the right side here. But instead, he cuts back in, and Kalijah Cansey's able to run it down from behind. Okay? All right, second and Doolittle here. You have got to pick up some yards to make it a manageable third, and they decide to bring a blitz. This is a good job by Kirk. If they ever bring a Mike pressure or a backer pressure, you want to throw in the direction of it. And one play that's very profitable in this situation is throwing to the running back out of the backfield, right? And that's exactly what Kirk does. After Bijan chips, you get the football into space to an electric player, and that's just really, really, really good offense, right? You're trusting Bijan to pick up some yards after the fact, and he breaks a tackle there and falls forward for a really nice gain. Good stuff. And this essentially becomes a dagger here. You get a pre-snap reverse orbit motion. So, once again, this is telling Kirk Cousins more than likely this is going to be some variation of zone, all right? And you could see the Bucs are in a quarters-ish, cover six-ish look, all right? These DBs and backers are playing at the goal line. You're not completing anything here. That's a good job by Kirk going through his progressions here. This isn't there. This isn't there. This isn't there. And that is a good job full field reading it. And obviously it's an even better job protecting it, right? Now, this is called stepping up for your team. Remember, this game that we broke down a few weeks ago, 98 tore this Falcons protection up. You get a double there at the last second. You get the football here to Bijan Robinson wide open. And, Bijan's going to take care of business here. So, once again, nonchalantly running into the end zone. That is kind of gangster, I'm not going to lie. The Lamar Jackson treatment. This is what Kirk Cousins has been known for throughout his career, right? His elite speed, okay? It's second in Stone Mountain. And Kirk, after throwing for 500 yards versus the Bucs a few weeks ago, as you can see, Tampa in this game did a good job making life more difficult for Drake London and company. But this is a very interesting decision right here for Kirk to run, because he does have an inbreaker here to McLeod open. But once he sees that this linebacker deoccupies the space here, he decides, hey, I'm going to tuck and run. If you're going to give me this, I'm going to take it all day, every day, as he should, right? And look at this cutback from Kirk Cousins. Look at this speed. And then Kirk getting tripped up here is really on brand. So, is Kirk Cousins a real MVP candidate? I believe so. We'll get back to that in a second. I do think, though, this was some bad end-of-game management from Morris and Zach Robinson. So they did a smart thing to go for it on 4th and 1 after that Kirk Cousins scramble, and they were able to pick it up. But they decided to go run when Kirk Cousins had played amazing. No passing options, no rollouts, nothing. I think that's a little too conservative, trying to back into a division win like that. Have Kirk Cousins go out there and decide the game for you. He had been that good, and you set up a field goal that Koo, who's been pretty automatic in clutch situations, missed, right? So it was just some cowardly coaching there at the end. Throw the damn ball, or at least do something other than get tight and give Algier and Bijan impossible boxes to run on. But the bottom line is the Falcons won this game. They have control of the NFC South. I wanted to shout out Baker Mayfield. I think he played overall pretty well with no Mike Evans and no Chris Godwin. And I also want to shout out Jesse Bates, who was really the MVP of this game, a turnover machine. So let me know what you guys think. I believe Kirk Cousins is number 2 in my MVP voting. Bang! This is a guy who deserves it right now. Okay? And unlike Baker Mayfield, he actually completed a Hail Mary to win this game. It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! And tonight we are doing fried chicken. Let's go!